Hi, love expert Veronica here. If you're watching this, you've probably realized that you have repeating attraction and relationship patterns, and that these are stopping you from finding that soulmate love and lasting relationship you're looking for. Well, let's look at what's going on and what you can do to change this. I see every day with the women I work with that once they fix what's causing their patterns, they quickly and easily find amazing men and committed relationships. Okay, so what I'm talking about here is getting into relationships with the same type of guy who has similar issues and behaviors or treats you the same as your previous partner. Or it may be that the relationship itself has repeating patterns. For example, that you can't get past the first or second date, or you keep getting friend-zoned. Maybe you get to a point and he won't commit, or he abandons you without explanation. Perhaps once you're in a relationship, it follows the same path as your previous relationships. That's what I'm talking about, so let's look at what's causing these patterns and what you can do about them. There are 3 reasons we attract the same type of man and relationship. The first reason is our beliefs. This might sound strange, but they can have such an impact. So they can be anything from I'm ugly, there's something wrong with me, or men are useless, or everyone else deserves love but not me. Now there are many that it could be. Now these could be a leftover from your previous relationship if you were hurt, or it could come from somewhere else. I want you to imagine your beliefs as a force field that resonates out from your heart. This force field interacts with everyone you meet. So, for example, if you believe that all men are cheaters, guess what your force field is going to put out there, and guess what you are going to attract? The second reason is our blueprint. By blueprint, I mean our childhood, the way we grew up, how we were treated by our parents, our siblings, school friends, even figures of authority, and how we felt when we were growing up. I won't go into too much detail here because I want to keep this video short, but it's actually got to do with the way the brain works, specifically the subconscious mind. It's very useful to understand this because once you do, you can stop beating yourself up for feeling stupid about your attraction patterns. So, imagine the brain as an iceberg. The tip of the iceberg, the part that sticks out above the waterline, is the logic or conscious mind. The part underneath the waterline is the subconscious mind, which is much bigger and processes information very differently from the conscious mind. This is, of course, a simplified explanation. Now, the subconscious mind works in patterns more than logic. From birth to the age of 7, our logic brain isn't fully formed. That's so that we can just absorb the vast amount of information we need to survive and thrive as human beings. So our brain is really a big sponge, absorbing and filing information in patterns. And once these patterns are formed, well, they are pretty much set. We try to change our habits and patterns with our logic brain, the tiny tip of the iceberg, and we wonder why it doesn't work. Because the patterns are set in that vast subconscious mind, they rule our lives and create our relationship destiny. So if you want different outcomes in your love life, changing your blueprint at a subconscious level is a must. So we've got our beliefs and our blueprint causing our attraction patterns. The last reason, and this may sound simple, but I see women making the same mistakes all the time, is that we don't understand men. What makes them tick, what turns them off committing to us, and what makes them want to whisk us down the aisle, because believe me, they do. Women approach dating and relationships the way we want to be treated, but sometimes we do the exact things that turn men off without even realizing it. Our relationships don't get off the ground, or our partner leaves us with no good reason, or he just won't commit. And we wonder why. Often it is our behavior that drives a man's actions and reactions. Once you get deep insights into how men and women are different and learn to work with that, you will be amazed at how men respond to you differently. And let me tell you, lady, you can have an amazing relationship even if your partner doesn't have a clue about these. So what can we do about these 3 reasons? Our beliefs, blueprint, and not understanding men. The first step is to figure out your beliefs. Look in 4 areas: beliefs about yourself, about men, the world, and other people. And then see how these are affecting your love life. Sometimes just spotting a belief is enough to dissolve it. Keep asking yourself what you really think about these 4 areas. You may be amazed at what comes to mind. The second step is to analyze your blueprint. The easiest way is to start with looking at all your romantic relationships. What was common to each of them? What did you dislike about the men or the relationship? If you write this down, you may be surprised at what you find. Then you go back to your childhood and teenage years. If you attract long-distance relationships or men who are emotionally unavailable, did you have a primary caregiver who was often absent, emotionally or physically? If you are often abandoned by men, where were you abandoned in childhood? If you can't get or sustain a relationship, did you feel lonely and alone a lot of the time growing up? If men cheat on you, where were the lies and cover-ups in your childhood? And this might be quite difficult to spot. Now, of course, these are just examples. Yours will be specific to you. Then you need to clear the effects of your childhood blueprint so that it stops affecting your current relationships. The third step is to be open to the fact that yes, you don't understand men. I myself was shocked when I discovered how differently they think to us women. And I grew up with 3 brothers. Once you know how the mind of a man works, you can work with that, not in a manipulative way, to make the whole relationship thing a breeze instead of a chore. If you knew, for example, what makes men commit to women, wouldn't you be quite happy to apply that so that you stop your repeating relationship patterns? That's just being sensible. The same applies to what makes them shut down or open up. What makes them be faithful or cheat? What makes them look after you or depend on you? If you're serious about finding that relationship of your dreams, changing your beliefs, clearing the effects of your blueprint, and understanding men are only a part of succeeding. These are 2 steps of 9 that every woman needs to go through who wants to succeed at love. And here is where they fit. Clear your blocks and understand or get men. If you'd love to skyrocket your chances of succeeding at love, I've prepared a short training with more details on each step, which you can get by clicking on the link and signing up to get the video, and a detailed blueprint you can keep. This is Love Expert Veronica, and I'll see you soon.